not put the ring leader in jail? That's my feeling. I think what's going to happen is a bunch more people will be indicted. They'll go to prison. And when it comes to Trump, they won't do anything, at least while he's in the White House, because, come on, I mean, how would we look to all our other neighbors out there? We wouldn't look very good. But I'll tell you one thing right now. If I was Taiwan, I'd be shitting bricks right now. You know, they've been doing a lot of military exercises and everything because they're worried because China is flexing their muscles right now, basically saying, we want our property back. We want our land back. We want to unite our country. And what are we going to do? What's Trump going to do? You know what he's going to do? Probably nothing. It'll happen one night. We go to bed, we wake up, and China is going to be, well, in Taiwan, and that's the end of it. Oh, I don't know. Hey, James, how you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing good. I wish you would tell everybody how you really feel, though, one of these nights.
Well, I'm just telling the truth. I mean, everything I said is been in the news on a daily basis. I haven't exaggerated anything about what is going on.
Oh, no, I believe you. Believe me, I hear you. I was just messing with you, boy. I love when you get going. I just love it.
Well, you have to think. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, one of these days, I'm going to wait for the big moment when you really, really let us know how you feel.
I pretty much did right there. You know, like I said, I was a Trump fan. I'll admit it right now. I went and voted for Trump. And, you know, and I voted for him all the wrong reasons. Because, you know what, when I cast my vote, I knew I really didn't have any choice. Because I knew it was either going to be him or her. And then you sit back and you wonder, oh, my God, I mean, what does this country come to when you only have a choice of him or her, and both of them are not a very good choice?
No, and I can assure you this much: if I deleted 33,000 emails that were of real importance that jeopardized maybe some lives, and you know, I would probably still be in jail waiting for my first phone call if it was me. But that's just my opinion.
Well, maybe she could have a cell. You know what really frustrates me more than anything was when Trump would get those rallies going, right? And he would say the famous words, Hillary in jail, put Hillary in prison, put Hillary in prison, put her in jail. And he would do that, okay? And people would be all just worked up about Hillary putting her in prison. Everybody thought he was going to put her in prison. You know why he didn't put her in prison? Because if he put her in prison, he knew he'd be next.
Yeah, they're all connected one way or another anyway. They all eat lunch together somewhere, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know. I mean, why is the Secret Service letting this guy send out things? Why does he have a personal cell phone, number one? Every other president had to give, you know, as long as cell phones have been out, they had to surrender their personal phones. Why is this? Why does this guy still have a cell phone? Why is he allowed to text all this stuff? Because you know what he does? He undermines everything in the Pentagon, everything and anything in the government. This guy is undermining what people are trying to do. You know, if you take a look at all his staff that come or go. It's been so many of them in the last 2 years. It's shocking, you know, and the people who are there are scared because I guess what I have heard, he treats his staff like shit.
Well, let me ask you something. What position did Stormy have?
Yeah. on her back, people.
I'm just curious. I just curious.
Maybe on her knees occasionally.
Oh Lord, he cracked me up.
I don't know. I never thought I'd say this tonight, but I am so frustrated because I sit there and I just read the news and I feel like, you know, this is the worst in my 67 years and probably 61 years being able to read anything. You know, it scares me what is going on. The amount of people, I've already seen people losing their jobs. And I've seen people, you know, working at low wages. I see people, right now I know a family down the street that got a letter saying that they're going to be cut off on food stamps, and the husband, he has a health issues, and he rides or drives a bus for the school district, and he what's he going to do when he can't put food on the table because it's the money for food stamps is tied up. Of course, I don't know. I think our president just does weird things, and I'm going to take the money from the military. I'm going to take the money from Puerto Rico. I'm going to take the money from California. From the forest fires and use it to build his wall. Can you imagine the amount of people in California would probably start getting their guns if they realize that this guy is robbing everybody just to build his stupid fence?
Really? First of all, I got to ask you a question. How do you know what news is real news and not fake news, first of all? That's my first question.
Well, I don't know. Trump says the news media is full of it. It's fake, right? But then if you listen to Trump, almost every other word he says is a lie. So which one do you want? You got a quarter we can flip?
I do, but it's got two heads on it, so you have to call tails.
Well, so I think that's what Trump has. He has a quarter he flips. It has two heads on it.
Absolutely. I'm no dummy.
Of course, I don't know. I hear he puts his makeup on and dresses in a fresh shirt every time he goes and watches TV. Unfortunately, he's cut his TV watching down, in the news and listening to Rush and all this stuff. He's cut it down to about 18 hours a day.
Well, I got to say this much. I don't know who his hairstylist is, but they are a true artist. They've been working with that for a few years now. I don't know. Kudos to them.
Well, they must go through a couple cans of hairspray a day. If you ever got in a windstorm, you're going to see that Trump is bald, and he's flipping it every which way, trying to cover it up.
I just had a psychic vision, Gary. You ever watch the bowling movie Kingpin when Big Earl, he's bowling and his hair's all sticking straight up. It's a comb over, it's like four hairs sticking up. I just had a vision of what Trump would look like, a big hurricane come in, his hair be sticking up like Big Earl.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
And then we got a first lady, right? The first lady, they have always talked about Kennedy, his wife. We've talked about Bush wives. We have talked about all the president wives, right? What they've done before they became, their husband became president of the United States. And I guess his wife goes, well, I made a lot of porn movies.
Oh, jeez. Well, you got to make a living somewhere, I guess. Jeez.
Yeah. And I can imagine saying, boy, it cost Trump a lot of money for me.
Well, it's a lot of makeup and shoes. And,
every Friday and Saturday night, a lot of money.
You got to keep up with maintenance, high maintenance.
Yeah.
Got to keep appearances. You live down there in Madison Ave and all them big fancy places and parties and social events. You gotta have the best stuff. You can't go in there with yard sale stuff or flea market item.
I bet he's paying a lot of money right now to her for shoes and offshore bank accounts just to keep her in. She don't even. What I read here recently, she doesn't even live at the White House.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that at all. Hell, I wouldn't surprised if he doesn't live there either. That's kind of his style, isn't it?
No, he lives there. He's watching TV all the time, wanting to hear anything bad about him.
I thought he was on Twitter all the time, from what I see.
No, when he's not on Twitter, he's watching all the newscasts, and he has a little book here, and he goes, okay, screw over this reporter, screw over this reporter, screw over this reporter. Hey, you want to screw me over, Trump? Go ahead. I don't care. I've been screwed over by the best, my ex-wife.
Now, wait a minute. I got to ask. Which one, number one or number two?
Well, I did go one and I did go two. And I felt like I had both of them on me.
Oh, my goodness. Good thing you weren't constipated. You'd be stuck with them both.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
So what I want people, what? I think we ought to get a guy from Skid Row, right? Take him and clean him up. Give him a shave, a haircut, give him an hour and a half long bath with incense and all that stuff and a lot of cologne, right? Clean the guy up. Make sure he can read. That's number one, right? And then let's enter him in the president race for the next race.
Oh my goodness!
Well, come on, hey, why not? You know what? We get somebody off of a Skid Row, right? And we don't let the people know right away he's from Skid Row, but he's going to know how it feels to have nothing. So maybe he's going to be more compassionate. And you know what?
Well,
and then if Congress doesn't agree with what he wants to do, Congress says, "Here, you want a bottle of Muscatel?"
Oh my goodness! Hey, let me ask you a question. You want to talk about blind eye and stuff? Riddle me this.
Go ahead.
Why would you run to be a president? Spend I don't know, $100 million, $50 million, whatever it is for your campaign, so you can make $250,000 or $500,000 a year. Can you explain that?
I don't know, but you know what? One of his close friends said when Trump heard that he was elected president, he shit bricks. He had that kind of like look on his face. He didn't even expect to win. You know, he even when he was running for president, he never expected he was going to win. You know, the first time he campaigned, the previous campaign, he dropped out. You remember that?
Yeah, faintly.
Yeah, well, hey, yes, trust me. He was halfway through it and he dropped out because he knew he wouldn't be able to make it. And this time here, he was totally in shock. Oh my God! The idiots elected me president of the United States.
It kind of reminds me. I know you remember old Ross Perot, the other billionaire who put his name in the bucket there a few years back. Remember, he was out there, buddy. He made a little run. Texas Oil Man, I think he was, or something like that, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Ross.
Well, hey, you know what? We got a leader in our office, right? And I know people already. You got to see my messages coming up right now. But you know what? Let's face it. I mean, how many businesses has he had that went bankrupt? How many people, right, that finished off his hotels, right, or casino, did all the work, hired the people, took out loans to do all this stuff, and then Trump says, "Well, I'm not going to pay you because you were a day late in completion."
I can tell you this much.
Sue me. That's what he said.
There's a lot of people, when he started that USFL football league, the way he handled that, there's a lot of people that were angry over that. I can assure you of that one. And then they won the lawsuit but won $1. They got him on that one. I'll give him that. Oh, Lord. You remember that?
Oh, I remember so many things. That's why I can't understand why he's in the White House. Is our country that screwed up? Seriously. Are our morals so screwed up in our country right now that we could bring in somebody that couldn't even do the TV show The Apprentice? Okay? I mean, if you asked everybody who was on that show with him, and he had some pretty famous people on there afterwards, you know what they said about Trump? I mean, that should have been a dead giveaway. Something was wrong with the guy. I mean, he treats people like they're crap. And that's why he can't keep anybody, like Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense. Now he also brings people in, right, that don't have any skill in what they're doing, like the head of the IRS or the person that runs the Treasury. They were trying to put that guy in jail for a period of time, too, because of some of his business dealings. I mean, Trump has really brought in his little groupie people in, and so far he hasn't been audited, or his audit hasn't been brought out to the public. I'm hoping so much that the Congress, because they're the only ones that can demand to the IRS to give him all his tax returns. They need to see all this stuff and what's going on, because you know what? If I did or what he did, if we did even a fraction of what he did, you would have a nice room for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's for sure. Definitely. And you talk about people's morals again. Why would some